My dynamic with my boyfriend is toxic. I finally see the truth.
Looks like someone needs to get out of there.
Hi, Reddit. I would really like some advice if you guys have any. I'm sorry if this seems a little messy. I'm writing this at work. A little background, my boyfriend, 22, and I, 23, have been together for 3 years. Just recently, 6 months long distance for him to go to school because his dad said that he would pay for it. By the way, this comes from toe tethers on the r/OK storytime subreddit. I'm always trying to support what my boyfriend does. He doesn't like his dad, and I offered to take on more clients at work to help him pay for school if he didn't want to rely on his dad, but he thought it would be easier to move states for his dad to pay. It's been a bit of a rocky road for us. When we've gotten into arguments or when I've brought up my feelings, it's always, you're straight up mean to me, and why are your feelings so much about you? And what makes the relationship so bad? What do I need to do? It would always end up in me apologizing and changing my behavior so that I don't make him upset, and I've gotten to the point where I'm very closed off towards him. After an argument, it was either I should act a certain way or my boyfriend would be overly kind and messages were very lovey-dovey until I did something wrong again.
Love bombing.
Exactly. That's tall or sure signs of a toxic or abusive relationship.
Very
it's
tall.
The high highs and low lows. Get out of there, girl. I also would like to add that my boyfriend wants to FaceTime every night through the entire night, like to sleep on call every night. He also had me cut ties with all of my male friends because they're guys. That's reason enough. I hate it when people do that.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
Like, why? Why even do that?
That's so ridiculous because, like, I went on 2 dates with one guy that wanted me to do that, like, right off the bat.
Wait, do what?
Like, cut off guy friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he didn't want me to do it yet, but he was like, if this turned into anything, that's what I'm going to expect of you. And I was like, okay, so listen, I'm bisexual. Does that mean I have to have no friends ever?
And she talks to so many girls. It's kind of crazy.
Well, yeah, because they're my friends. But,
They are?
yes. But like, that just doesn't make sense at all because it's like, what, am I just not going to have any friends? And it's just such a silly willy thing.
Because if you can't trust your partner who's of the opposite sex to be with their version of the opposite sex or whoever they're attracted to, do you really need to be around them?
Yeah, if you don't trust someone, you shouldn't be together.
Exactly.
Absolutely not. Like, you're not going to change. If you don't trust someone, you're not going to change them into someone you do trust.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway.
Yeah. But am I going to put my girlfriend in a room with Vi and Caitlin? No, I'm not. I'm going to try to avoid that if at all possible.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Let me clarify. The one guy friend that I had already been friends with for 4 years previously, he would always help me when I would move. My dad even considers him a close family friend. My boyfriend just didn't understand that my friend and I's friendship was platonic. My birthday was earlier this month, and my childhood friend that lives in a different state just had a baby 2 weeks ago and was able to mail me a birthday card. My boyfriend told me that he went shopping the day before my birthday and bought me a nice shirt at Zoomies and told me that he would give it to me the next time we see each other. About 2 weeks ago, when I finally brought up all the stuff that had been bothering me, I told my boyfriend that I needed time and space to figure things out. I told him no calling that night, and I woke up to a bunch of messages from my boyfriend saying that he misses me and loves me, back to FaceTime calls during the night the next day. I brought up my friend that he made me stop talking to, and he says, you can talk to whoever you want. I also brought up how I was hurt that he said that I'm mean to him when I was just trying to explain my feelings, that he told me that he was sorry and that he was just in a bad mood. You know, I saw something recently that said, like, if he couldn't speak, would you fall in love with his actions?
Ooh.
And I thought that was a really good one.
Dude, you know what else I saw?
Huh.
That's kind of like in that version.
Yeah.
Is would you want miniature versions of them to exist in this world? Like, would you want this man to have children, or would you want this person to have children just like them?
Absolutely.
Like, ooh.
Yeah. Would you, or something that I've thought of too is like if you're with someone, like, would you want your future children with this person, if that were to happen, know that they were treating you that way? And for that to be like an okay example, like, yeah, he was treating me this way, but it's okay, we stayed together. Because then they would repeat the same thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So many good ways to look at it. Anyway, he has been super lovey-dovey since the conversation 2 weeks ago. Using emojis he never really used. Overly supporting example, he told me good job when he messaged I'm home from work. But now to an explanation to my question. My boyfriend's mom doesn't live in the country. Her husband was able to get them a trip here last year, so I was able to meet them. I've kept light contact with his mom since then. This year, they are able to fly out here again. They'll be flying to the state that my boyfriend lives in, so I would have to fly there to see them. When my boyfriend and I had the conversation that I brought up 2 weeks ago, I told him that I wasn't sure if it was a good idea for me to come out to see them. My boyfriend had also told me that on his way to his mom's Airbnb, he forgot my birthday card at his place. Ultimately, decided that he would buy the tickets. I learned that he doesn't know my middle name through this process because he needed it to buy tickets. I told him to send me the money and I would get the tickets. So since getting the tickets, I've felt even more distanced from my boyfriend. I feel like he didn't listen to me. I don't think it's fair to him for me to feel this way and stay with him. Yes, that was a great thing that you just said. I don't think it's fair to him for me to feel this way and stay with him. Oh, I guess the fair to him part, I don't care about him. But like, it's not fair to you to feel this way and stay with him. That's what I thought you were saying originally. It's not fair to yourself to feel that way and stay in that situation.
Yeah. True,
it's just not fair. At this point, I'm not even sure if I should go, but I would hate to disappoint his mom. So I guess I'm really asking, would I be the a-hole if I broke up with my boyfriend and canceled the flights? Because I'm not sure if this is a sustainable relationship. And there is an update, a big update. But what is our answer to that?
You better have walked out of there ASAP. I better see we broke up, not, and then he gave me this and gave me that. Like, these are clear signs of a very not good relationship.
Yeah, it's not, it's just not good. In the story that I read before, I mentioned the phrase I've brought up like quite a few times at this point, the I don't trust, I observe. You know what I mean? You can hear all his lovey-dovey messages and whatever he says, but you have to, hear that, say thank you, sure, whatever, and then keep an eye open. Okay, because that doesn't patch the wound of whatever he did before.
Yeah, she sent me with that a lot of times.
Well, I brought
it up. In a good way.
I brought it up in when we read stories, and I brought it up with him because I had been given that advice, and then I realized through observation that he was actually a good person, this guy right here. So
Don't make me cry.
It's true. It works. So you can find people with that. Okay.
Yep. They all live in Taylorsville, North Carolina, and work at a sawmill.
Yes.
So good luck finding them.
There's it's the only kind of good man out there. No, but if you think that this is not a sustainable relationship, and if you feel distant from him, and if you feel hurt, and like he doesn't maybe not care about you or something like that, then you don't need to meet his mom. You're going to break up with him anyway. You know what I mean? So might as well just do this and not go through all the pain of like still being around him and then meeting his mom, If this is an awful guy, then maybe his mom is not the best either. You know what I mean? So we're just going to jump right into this update now. Okay. But now for the update. It's a bit of a long update, but you guys helped me a lot. So here it goes. 2 days ago, I broke up with my now ex-boyfriend, canceled the flights, and sent him the money for the tickets. Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank goodness. Oh, wow. That is the best thing you could have said, Opie. Wow. Your comments have helped me tremendously through this process. I didn't realize how bad of a situation I was in. The realization of how he's been treating me really set in. He reacted exactly as you all predicted. I waited until around 2:30ish a.m. hoping he'd be asleep to end the FaceTime call, to Zelle him the plane ticket money, and send the message I quickly drafted to say I'm ending things between us. My phone started blowing up minutes afterwards with messages and Snapchats from him. Oh my gosh. Minutes? So he wasn't asleep? Like what? Most of them just singular texts saying, please, but also, I can't do this right now. I love you so much. I can't out of nowhere. Don't forget about me and the good times. I'm majorly freaking out in the bathroom right now. I can't stop shaking. I'm about to wake up my mom. I wish you had come down. I was thinking how beneficial it would have been for us to finally see in person and talk some stuff out. The cycle of him calling over and over again began, to the point I couldn't use my phone. I gave in and answered, although I unfortunately don't remember all of what he said because I dissociated through the call. The dissociation when I'm with him explains my lost memories, lol. Oh my gosh. Man, I'm so sorry, girl. I wish I could give you a hug. Oh my gosh. That is not a good sign at all. So glad you're out of there now, though. Oh my gosh. All I can remember is I told him it's final and I'm not changing my decision, and him saying, I can't believe I'm never going to hear you say I love you again. Yeah, cry about it. I don't know. I literally figure it out. Figure it out all on your own. This isn't going to make her stay, okay? After the call, I got messages the rest of the day. I feel like I don't know who I am without you. I hope these past few days when you've told me you loved me, you really meant it. Girl, please block him. I hope you block him. I haven't said or messaged anything to him since the call ended, but I didn't block him because one of you commented his behavior might worsen if I did that. And truthfully, in this specific situation, it seemed better not to block. It's saying his behavior might worsen. That could go two ways. That could go into harming himself or harming her. So if it's harming her, it's probably better to not block. Obviously, you don't want him to harm himself. But at a certain point with breakups, I think a lot of manipulative people threaten that to make you stay, but all you have to do is call authorities and then move on, because that is not your responsibility. You can find other people who can take responsibility of that. But I'm so glad that you're at least not responding to any of these things, because that's really the whole reason you would want to block him, is just so that you can't talk to him anymore. But I'm glad that you are controlling yourself and not talking to him anymore. As you can imagine, I haven't really slept and I have had a headache from crying. It sucks because I do still care for him and I love him. I still wish the best for him. Although I feel like I already mourned this breakup and loss, but I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. He's had an effed up childhood and has been cheated on, but that's not my responsibility to deal with, and his projecting isn't acceptable either. That's right, girlfriend. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm so happy that you said that, because that's absolutely not your responsibility. There's no way. If someone has been cheated on in the past and then they bring it into their current relationship with you or whoever and is like, well, you have to do all this to like make up for my past. It's like, no, not really. I mean, sure, you don't want to cheat on them. Don't cheat on them. But like, you don't have to like do all these things because they have a crazy trust now or something like that. Like a lack of trust. That's their problem, girl. That's their problem. I'm so glad you left that to him. My ex had the gifts that I got for his mom, and when he gave them to her, she sent me this message. Hello, dear. I just opened the gift bag from you, and I'm totally blown over by your generosity. I'm in love with the backpack. Only one thing could have made it better, and that's if you were here, with a bunch of sad faces. I don't know how the heck I was supposed to respond to that. I've gotten texts all during the day from after my ex. Wait, no, I need to pause on that, because she's doing the guilt tripping now. I'm sure, he was saying all these things about like being sad, but clearly we see where the guilt tripping is from his mother. So good thing that you didn't have to. So like I was saying earlier, good that you don't want to meet her, because she's just gonna be another version of him in a lot of cases. Not always, but in a lot of cases. I've gotten texts all during the day after from my ex. My heart aches for you. All the love bombing, as you guys have taught me in the comments. It really feels like I'm being thrown away. My heart can't take this. All day yesterday, he messaged me and snapped me, and I've been leaving him on read. Ranged from, you're the biggest part of my life and my top priority. The only thing I've ever wanted was to come home to you. To, do you just want me to, for real, not talk to you at all? Is it easy for you to not open our chats and stuff? I don't get how you were just able to do it. And please read and reply later when you have time. I'm struggling and any message back from you would do wonders. I guess I'll just leave you alone. Please don't let the streak die. You said you knew how much it meant to me. What? The snap streak? You're saying like, you know how much our snap streak means to me, babe. Just don't let it end. Don't let our snap streak end. Oh, you poor man. I'm so sorry for you and your lost snap streak. That is really so sad, and my heart goes out to you. I woke up this morning to snaps. I sincerely hope you read this. Please acknowledge my existing. I never thought you'd ignore me one day. It would also make it easier to leave you alone. Like this, I don't know if you've read anything. Please don't let the streak die. You've said you knew how much it meant to me. I just hope I wasn't replaced or thrown away this easily. I'm devastated. The text I got this morning. My little heart is very broken. Oh, your poor little heart. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your little heart deserves a very little violin. This is truly my last message. I don't think you will ever call me or text me back, so I won't bother you anymore. It seems clear that you want me gone, so I'm gone. I'll get the gifts to you because my mom spent her money on it. I love you. I loved every single moment with you, and I don't think I will ever get over you. And now I keep getting snap messages from him. See? Lying again. He just keeps lying. I'm just getting more angry. The fact that he thinks that I just immediately replaced him, he truly doesn't know me at all. Yes, I'm aware you guys warned me and told me he doesn't care about my feelings. It just sucks that I feel like I was trying to be my best for him and I spent all this energy for him to expect me to just move on. I don't know if he expects that. It sounds like he's scared that you're doing that and he doesn't want that either. But I mean, this is just how relationships go. No one moves on immediately unless they like really weren't that into the relationship in the first place, you know? So yeah, he's just being a little crybaby and just doesn't want you to move on. He probably knows that you didn't, and which is why he thinks that all of these love bombings will still work. I will say that I didn't set clear boundaries to not contact me, but I did say that I needed time away from him, but I have to forgive myself for that because the message was a little sloppy and I just wanted out. The airline wasn't able to refund the money for the tickets, so I just canceled the flights and sent him the money from my savings. Oh, that's nice of you, but I wish you didn't. I've taken this time to reflect on the past 3 years. Oh, wow, you were here together for 3 years? For my 21st birthday, I really wanted my boyfriend with me. Of course, to share the moment, but he ended up driving down to his dad's for something, which was like a 6-hour drive. It shouldn't really be that big of a deal, but if I had known that it was going to be the last birthday with my mom, I would have been more focused on spending time with her than the fact that my boyfriend couldn't just tell his dad it was my birthday, and I wanted him there for my celebration party, and he could drive down there the day after. After my mom passed, I ended up getting COVID a month later, oh boy, which almost took me out, literally. My sister and I share an apartment, but she basically lives at her boyfriend's, so I didn't really have anyone to help me. I wasn't very financially stable then, so the only thing I could do was DoorDash liquid IV. Oh gosh. I tried to drink liquids and I tried to eat what soups I had in my kitchen cabinet. I couldn't function. The most I could do was force myself to take a very hot shower, and I had the kitchen step stool to sit on because I could barely stand to walk to the bathroom. Oh my gosh. After the shower, I would wrap in a towel and sit on the bathroom floor until I could muster the energy to get back to bed. My hair was matted because of the multiple showers without brushing. I was dealing with nausea that I've never even come close to feeling before, and only when I was finally able to get a phone call appointment with the doctor was I able to get some advice to get Dramamine. Thank God, because it's probably one of the only things that got me through. It's the fact that I explained my symptoms and the doctor said, "Oh, you got that strain of COVID?" Comforting. I was sick for like 4 weeks before I could stand for more than 2 minutes without running out of breath and feeling like collapsing. By the end of it, I was 89 pounds. Oh my gosh. Because I couldn't keep anything down. My ex told me that he wasn't really able to do anything because he had tests in school and he couldn't get sick. Understandable, I suppose. There's a lot that you could do with dropping things off. Like dropping things off, wearing a freaking hazmat suit, like literally get a hazmat suit. I would absolutely just mask up, wear gloves and drop off food or do anything. That is so sad. Because I guess, sure, that's understandable, but if you really don't have anything and your partner is telling you that they love you and they're not even like trying to help, they're just like, I don't want to get sick, you know, like that's tough, man. He drove to my apartment once and brought me Chinese food from our local grocery store and stood on the sidewalk away from my front door while I grabbed the food. See, you could do stuff. He FaceTimed me every now and then. I really have to shout out my neighbor for helping me survive through it. I had pet sat her cat previously, so she messaged me asking if I was okay because she noticed my car hadn't moved in like a week and a half. Oh, wow. Good move on the neighbor for checking out or looking out for her. Dang. I worked 6 out of the 7 days of the week in early mornings, late evenings, so the fact that she noticed my car not moving made me feel noticed. Oh, that's really so sweet. I told her I had COVID and she immediately asked if I needed anything. She got me meds and anything I needed, put it outside my door, and I honestly can't thank her enough. It was such a tough time for me. But I'm alive. That's right, OP. You are. You got through it. When I finally was testing negative, my neighbor asked me if there was anything that I thought I could keep down. The only thing I could think of was Olive Garden soup and salad, so I geared up with gloves and a mask and long sleeves just in case, and she brought me to Olive Garden and I was able to eat 2 minestrone soups and some salad. This neighbor is now one of my closest friends and part of my support system, especially now for this experience. The list goes on from what my ex has done, but I don't know why I stayed after I had to tell him I was deleting Life 360 because it didn't feel like it was just for safety. Yeah. Well, hindsight is 2020. Don't be too hard on yourself. Reading over your comments has made me been able to really reflect on this relationship and pinpoint some specific moments of his gaslighting, insecurities, and whatnot. The list goes on for why I want you guys to check out more stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. Lots of good stories and hopefully good advice from us. We'll do our best. And there is a little bit more, so let's just jump right into it. Reddit community, thank you so much. I knew I had to leave, but I think I just really needed that push, and you guys helped me with that. My dad used to always tell me that people will someday take advantage of my kindness, and I didn't really understand until now. I've recently just finished the Throne of Glass book series, and the thing I keep thinking about is when Aylin's mom told her, "You do not yield." And Aylin kept telling herself that from then on. My situation isn't to the extent of what her character went through, but it's the quote that I keep telling myself. I do not yield to people trying to make me lower than them. The path to a very long healing journey starts here. Again, thank you guys for all of your comments, support, and bluntness. Thank you for the stories you guys have shared with personal experience. I hope you guys are doing better now. They've been helping me keep strong through all of this, reminding me why I have to leave for myself. That is the end of that story.
If you want more stories like this, search for our podcast, OK Storytime, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.